So guys, the Vivo Z1x is going to come with a 48 megapixel camera, and I really wanted to know how much better is it going to be from a regular 12 megapixel camera. So I took a few shots and here they are in front of you. It was tough to see a difference up front, and then I thought let's compare them side to side, and even then I could not really tell the difference, and then I tried to zoom in, and the difference became a bit clearer. Notice the leaf. There's more definition in the 48 megapixel photo. For example, over here, look at the bottom right corner, you will see there's just a little bit more definition again. But here, I really couldn't tell the difference, it was pretty much the same. Now Vivo is one of those very few brands that offer the best cameras in this mid-range price segment. For the price that they come at, they offer some really amazing camera quality and probably the best selfie cameras that you see in any smartphone. The Vivo Z1x or the Z1x is somewhere between 15 and 20,000 rupees. We don't know the exact price yet, we'll know on the 6th when it launches. But in that price you get a triple camera setup and one of the lenses is a 48 megapixel lens. But is that the game changer is what we're here to find out. On the surface, there might not be noticeable difference between shots taken using 48 megapixel versus 12 megapixel. But 48 is 4 times 12 and you might expect a huge difference. But it's not an exact math, and there are a lot of factors that play a role. It's true that a 48 megapixel photo will preserve more information, right? So there'll be more information about like details, highlights, textures, shadows, just overall more dynamic range information as well. And that together makes it a 48 megapixel picture. It's not just about, hey, let me zoom in and can I see a more crisp picture? That's one part of it. 48 megapixel just has a lot more things going on. So look at this picture for example. Now this is a 12 megapixel shot, and directly comparing it to a 48 megapixel shot, I don't think you can tell the difference up front. But let's zoom in a little and then you will see the clarity, the definition that a 48 megapixel camera can give given good lighting. Having said that, a 48 megapixel photo would just work better if you were using it in Lightroom or on Snapseed while editing. It won't do as well as a raw photo, but it'll be better than a 12 megapixel photo. Or if you're one of those guys who takes a photo, crops it, and then uploads it on Instagram or shares it on WhatsApp, a 48 megapixel photo will do better. Now one might also want to know, alright, the Z1x has a 48 megapixel lens. How much better is it? Or is it the same? Or is it worse than a 12 megapixel lens on a flagship device like the Galaxy Note 10? So guys, it's not just the megapixels, right? We all know that. It's also about the optics, the overall optics. So I took 2 photos real quick with both the devices, and you'll see that the Note 10 was able to capture the colors better than the Vivo Z1x. Even the readability and the dynamic contrast of the colors is better with the Note 10, and even the colors on the leaf was just a tad bit better. I went on and took another picture and then I zoomed in. You can see that the background is better in the Note 10, more real, and the color contrast is better on the wood as well. So overall conclusion, yes, there is a difference between a 48 megapixel photo and a 12 megapixel photo shot on a smartphone. The difference is just not as obvious. So if you're someone who likes to travel a lot, take photos of, landscapes, that's when the 48 megapixel lens will be utilized to the max because it will just contain and retain all that information, especially the dynamic range information, which a 12 megapixel photo is just weaker at. You can play more with your photos, you can edit them more on Snapseed or Lightroom, and yeah, you'll just have more fun with a 48 megapixel photo. But if you're in the city and you just take out your camera like a couple of times to take regular ordinary shots, sharing something with your friend that you are doing something along, maybe not so much then. A 48 megapixel photo will not help a lot over there, and you won't see the difference, you won't feel the difference as much. So yeah, if you're enthusiastic about photography, you want it on a smartphone, you don't want to spend too much, like on a flagship smartphone that have brilliant camera setups, the Z1x is a great option for that. And there's nothing in this price segment that offers anything else like that. Not the Vivo S1, not the Vivo Z1 Pro, the Z1x does it. So that's it guys. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one.